How's it going, guys? My name is Josh, and if you watched the intro, then of course you guys already know that. We're moving on to the AK12 today, and which is a really good weapon. We have a 43 and a 5 gameplay playing for you guys in the background, but you guys are here for the information, so let's get straight into it. The damage is 49 to 25, and that means that at the very most you're ever going to be dealing 49 points of damage, and at the very least you're going to be dealing 25, which is an improvement to say the least from the ARX, but that's moving on. The damage starts to drop off to 25.4 meters, and then at finally 43.18 meters reaches 25 points of damage, the lowest you'll ever go. So it does have a good range. It's not a really long range, but then assault rifles will have about an average range, obviously longer than a submachine gun, but obviously not as long as a sniper rifle. Moving on. The clip size is 30 bullets, which is again normal for assault rifles, and 45 with the extended mag. Moving on. The headshot multiplier is 1.4 times, which is pretty low. I mean, that's quite low for an assault rifle, but this weapon does make up for it. But still go for the head because you want to get the multiplier. The firing rate is 689 RPM. This is quite low for an assault rifle, I guess you could say. It shoots pretty fast, I'm not going to lie, but then it's average. We'll call it average, guys. Average in assault rifle, and that's good. It's alright. We could do with faster firing, but we don't get rapid fire on assault rifles. I wish we could, guys. It would be awesome, but unfortunately that is not an option. The recoil is actually 44 up, so minus 44 up, meaning that you're gonna get a bit of recoil going up. The main recoil actually comes from 50 left and right, which will, you just got to make sure you center your target, and it can give you a little bit of trouble, especially at long range engagements, but as long as you pay attention, keep your accuracy good, you should be alright. There are some things that can help you with this accuracy. The weird thing with this weapon is actually there's a 12% more recoil on the first pull of the trigger, which is weird for an assault rifle. You normally get a deduction. With this you don't, so it's like really weird, but whatever. So that means each time you pull the trigger on your Xbox, if you spray it, then just the first bullet will just have a 12% increase in recoil, which is weird. It's 7 squad points, and now I'm going to move on to some recommended attachments. Take foregrip for sure with this weapon, because this it really does suck at long range if you don't take foregrip. And that is me just being honest, guys. It's me being honest. It really, 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 really does suck at long range. And that's that really, just take the foregrip. Moving on to the silencer. Now the silencer, if you take the foregrip and the silencer, it won't actually, normally you get a bit more recoil or less damage, but with this, I didn't really feel as much a negation of damage and recoil as you would normally with assault rifles. I felt that it held its own, and obviously if you're staying off the map, you're going to be able to surprise the enemies like I do here. Like I've got silencer, some of them do spot me like this guy here, take him out, goodbye. But there's no focus on the gameplay. Moving on to the reload time. For loaded, it's 3.267 seconds for loaded, obviously, which is pretty average. It's pretty high, but whatever. 3.6 seconds empty, so it does have a quite long reload time, so maybe sleight of hand. But then if you use the cancel reload tactic, it will bring it down to about 3 seconds, just under 3 seconds loaded, and about 3.3 seconds empty, which will dramatically improve. And again, you can still take sleight of hand if you want to get the really fast reload. The iron sights, good for most engagements except long range. Because of the way they are, they're good for long range engagements, but when you're on the really long, like from map to map, you get some maps that you can see across. These type of the devastation maps, they're not as much as a problem, I didn't find, because you're mainly short to medium engagements. You barely get any, if any, long range engagements whatsoever, meaning that you should be alright. I don't rock red dot sight in this gameplay. I don't think I've ever rocked red dot sight, maybe once or twice. To be honest, guys, I just keep it with the iron sights because they're good. They got a good position shot, which you really, if you're playing the basic maps, the first ever maps, then you're gonna want to be probably putting red dot sight or some sort of, you got foregrip, so it gives you less recoil anyway, so you're not going to be bouncing about the place. The aim down sight in and out is 0.3 seconds. Again, that's basic for assault rifles. It can be improved with quick draw, as I said before, and that's that really. It's medium, it's quick draw, but I don't take quick draw, to be honest, guys. Not do I take quick draw? I don't think I take. Maybe in this gameplay I do. It depends. I normally switch it up. I normally, to be honest, take stalker instead of an agility, but we'll get into that in a minute. Do you start off with 90 bullets, and the maximum bullets you can ever get is 180. Again, that is with every assault rifle mostly. I think it's pretty much it. Every assault rifle, that pretty much stays the same. Again, it has medium penetration, meaning that if you wanted to take armor piercing ammo, if you're fighting in a an urban built up map, maybe it's a good idea to do that, to shoot for the cars, shoot for the walls, and be able to get the edge on the enemy, get the first bullet, and you actually do a tad bit more damage with armor piercing ammo, but then it's up to you. I don't rock it. In this I'm rocking the foregrip and the silencer, but whatever guys, test out what it feels. I'm just giving you the stats and you can build your class accordingly. Some perks that I recommend with this weapon. Well, I definitely recommend Stalker. Assault rifles have a tendency to you move pretty slow without Stalker, especially with assault rifles. That's just the way I feel it happens. Using Stalker, you can actually outrun the enemy, especially if the enemy is not used to just aiming it, if it is used to aiming in the sights and just killing them. If you can move about, and sometimes you get enemies that aren't used to the moving about, and you can catch them off guard. Again, with drop shotting, it's pretty good as well. Not that you can do it too well in Ghost anyway, but it's alright. It's alright, sorry. Agility. Agility is going to get you to move around the map faster, and especially for devastation maps, because it's the small to medium engagements. You're just going to be getting up in the enemy's face, like I said before in the last video, running up in the enemy's face, and it actually gives you ability to, give a couple of seconds of thinking time to think how you're going to engage this enemy, how you're going to deal with the situation as it presents itself. It just gives you that extra bit of thinking time. I also do take steady aim, I believe, with this weapon, mainly because it has a really poor hip fire. I mean, really poor. It's really poor. Mainly because, especially I play devastation maps obviously, so I do rock it that anyway, because if you're on the corner and someone is actually there, then you're going to want to be able to pinpoint, hip fire them, be able to take them out much easier. I also use Ready Up, which is a one point perk. Basically, it just decreases the time it takes for you to get your weapon ready after sprinting, especially with assault rifles. And if you rock agility and stalker, you are going to be moving around like an absolute missile, rocking the game to pieces, being able in everyone's faces, and it's just going to be awesome. Finally, moving on to the stars, I give this gun a 4 stars out of 5. The reason being is that I normally take the stars and put them bare bones when they don't have no attachments. I found that the recoil was controllable at short to medium range, but very uncontrollable for sure at long range. So, you're going to have to spend those extra points where you could be spending it if you had a good recoil weapon on some other attachment. That's why I got the 4 stars, mainly because of, well, the hip fire is none too great on this weapon, but it's alright. So, yeah, that's my review, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed this gameplay. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll be making loads of these guys every single class, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!
Are you ready?